Why are you posting in social media?
They look a bit like a dead doll. You're not going to get caught and engaged.
It was terrible.
Amazing.
Hey, we will cut it out. No worries.
Welcome to another episode of AKN podcast, Ask No Nurture. And today our guest is Amelia, who has already been here with us. But today she is going to talk about something a little different because Amelia has had a lot of roles within AKN. First, she was our office manager, and then she has become a teacher. She still is a teacher, and now she's also a social media manager. And this is what we will be focused on today. And so, Amelia, welcome.
Hi, hello.
I would like to get straight to the point and ask you, how does it coincide, the teaching role and the social media manager? Is there anything that you can say is in common within these two roles?
Okay, so these two worlds connect a lot. Mm-hmm. For example, sometimes when I'm planning my classes, I'm looking for some materials. Sometimes I see something that is actually brilliant and I want to reuse it for social media and so on. And sometimes I see something very interesting on social media and then I want to use it during my class.
Excellent.
Or I'm hearing something during a class. For example, a student is struggling with something a lot, or she's misunderstanding some kind of words or mixing them, etc. And sometimes I think, okay, that would be actually extremely helpful, and that's an amazing idea for a reel, for example. And we actually also did some kind of video with one of our other teachers, Evelina, about myths, about stereotypes in learning languages. And this are also some kind of things that I hear a lot, for example, at the initial meetings with the students.
So there you go. So basically, if you want to run social media for a language school, it is quite helpful to also be a teacher because you know what to talk about in those reels, videos and all that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. Do you think that the content you prepare could be helpful for learners? And if so, how?
I hope so. I hope so, and I think so. I think that, language learners loves to get value and loves to get, practical tips how to learn. They love to just, they also love to see what worked for other people. I love to talk about myself. I love to talk about, ways that I have learned English, because I would say that I'm more of a self-learner than, a person that was taking classes. So yeah, exactly.
Okay, brilliant. So you've got plenty to share, as I can see, because you have the perspective of a self-learner and of a teacher.
Yeah.
And so now, because you said you're mainly a self-learner, does it mean your language teachers were just so bad and you are now trying to be a teacher that they were not?
Okay, so first of all, teachers in my primary school were okay. I mean, I know grammar because of that. Yes, so they taught me grammar very well, but I couldn't speak English. I was really shy. I was, I had a speaking barrier. Yeah, the only thing that allowed me to speak was actually singing. So it wasn't really speaking, it was singing in English because I loved it. But in high school, I had a very great teacher. She was amazing, Mrs. Małgosia. Yes, she was amazing. She really showed me how to open up, how to speak, how to use the language. We were speaking a lot. So it really helped me with my speaking barrier. And, also I had to pass Matura exam, oral exam. So it was extremely stressful for me. I mean, I wasn't stressed at first, but when I came into the room and they asked me about some kind of functions of a TV, options, what can you have in your smart TV? I was like, what can I say? It's just it was a terrible question. I got so stressed.
Very technical. What did she even say?
Something about LED lights and about I don't remember. It was some kind of such an improvisation.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, it was terrible.
Not easy.
But I got 100% anyway. But still.
So you see, this means you really broke your barrier and you were able to deal with even a very difficult question, right?
Yeah.
And isn't it what we actually try to show the students, that sometimes you could be surprised and you don't know what to say, but you just need to, you have the capacity, you just have to say something and not to stay quiet, right?
Yeah.
And I guess this is it. Do you get any comments from your students watching the social media that you prepare?
Actually, I had some. Okay, I cannot say the name, but one of my students saw me and she was like, "Oh, that's so cute that you're doing social media and stuff." And also, okay, I can say my mom is also. I'm teaching my mom, and she also watches our TikToks or Instagram reels sometimes. And she told me that, wow, you had like you did this some kind of like haul what's in your bag when you were coming back to university. And what are tissues? I have never heard this word before. Wow, okay, that's surprising. And why do you have so much stuff in your bag? But yes, she was learning. She learned this word.
And that is exactly this practical application of the language, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and thanks to you, I actually looked at TikTok because I, as an old dinosaur, would never ever think of, TikTok as a place I would look. And now tell me a bit about, because you're so good at it. You prepare stuff for TikTok, for Instagram. You are so knowledgeable. You know what kind of stuff to prepare for different channels. How do you know all that?
I would say that I'm just, immersed with social media since I was, 12.
Wow.
I don't know if you remember, if you even know about the fact that TikTok was Musical.ly. A few years ago. So I was recording some kind of funny videos, etc. And also, another fun fact about me, actually, this fun fact, it's not really popular among people who I am close with, but I had a YouTube channel when I was 12.
You had a YouTube channel? Oh my gosh! Is it still on?
No. My parents told me to delete it. Why? They told me, some kind of all the parents at my primary school, they told us that, why are you posting in social media? You are just kids, you are not allowed to do this, blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
But you were singing there, right?
I was singing a little bit, but I was basically doing more of some kind of challenges or doing vlogs or making some kind of videos when I was rollerblading, for example.
Really?
Yeah. Many different things. And yeah, so mostly challenges and some kind of rollerblading because I had a very, very, very great passion for sports when I was in primary school. So,
oh my goodness! Yeah. Okay, so you're raised and bred. Being immersed in social media.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm also I'm walking down the street and I'm recording vlogs from my boyfriends all the time and from my friends. So I'm just, I'm just raised like that. I just love recording stuff and talking to the camera. It's really natural for me. And I love, the whole social media stuff, and I love getting to know how to do certain things. I'm really interested in marketing right now. Also, it's also connected to my studies. So
brilliant.
All about it is just some kind of my hobby, I would even say.
Exactly. And you're so good at recording with people, including myself. So listen, everybody. If I need to record something, either I do it with Amelia or it's probably not going to be done. When I do it with you, you know exactly how to give me feedback so that I know how to do it better. And how much time does it take us to record 3 videos? Half an hour, right?
I think there was even a situation once when we recorded 3 videos in 20 minutes.
Exactly. We're getting there. But there's something special about you. I just feel so comfortable around you, you make me feel like I'm not stressed, and I'm not the only one, because you have recorded stuff with Evelina, who struggled before. Who else did you record with from our school?
With Veronika, with Ola as well. But Ola is brilliant. Ola is just excellent at doing this on her own. So
But Ola's not around, so it's not that easy to record with her these days, right? But basically, what I love is that you can actually make people feel comfortable, because a lot of the people in our team, they want to do it, but then when they are faced with actually recording themselves, they say that it's difficult, it's awkward, they don't know how to do it. And then here comes Amelia. everything's fine all of a sudden, you know? You have this magic element that makes it easier. Also, because I think you're immersed in social media so much, you know what kinds of things we could actually record, which is super helpful. Okay, tell me a little about this like technical aspect of this, because you're such a sociable person and editing has nothing to do with people. All there is your phone and yourself. So do you actually enjoy editing and working on these skills?
So as I mentioned before, I had a YouTube channel. So that is one thing.
So when you were 12, you were able to edit your videos?
I know. I was even making some graphics in GIMP, as far as I remember. Right now, I'm doing more some kind of like, professional ones in Canva, etc. But yeah, I used to do everything, basically. I love to try out new things.
Wow.
So yeah, but sometimes I'm just going through the CapCut or other editors, and I just like, I just feel I see it. I'm like, okay, maybe this will work. Maybe this one. I just love to try out many different things, and I love watching short practical tutorials on TikTok and on Instagram as well.
Really? So how short are they for editing?
Yeah, for editing, because when they are long, I'm like, I don't want to learn it. I'm just like, I don't have time for it. But when something is like really cool, some kind of like a really cool effect, etc., I'm just like, okay, I can actually spend time watching it. And sometimes it's like 30 seconds for one tutorial, so it's really quick. And when you already know how to use, the app more or less, then it's easier for you. So you just have to combine some skills, and then you got it.
Amazing. Wow. Like the more I listen to you, it's like, wow. And I always, like after I meet you, I always have this motivation to learn how to edit, and then time catches up to me, and then I'm like, Amelia will do it so much better anyway, so then it's so much easier for you to do it somehow, Do you think there's anything in particular that creates a challenge for the teachers that have such a big problem to record and prepare their videos?
I think that this is only just camera. And the fact that we talked about being a perfectionist. So also the fact that they are stressed about some pauses they do, about mistakes, about some awkward things that they would say, etc. And I always say to them, hey, we will cut it out. No worries. I can combine 10 different clips. It's not a problem for me.
Very good. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, she's right. Absolutely. Okay. So basically you calm them down. And maybe this is also why they feel so reassured with you. I see. Okay. You meet Evelina, for instance. Evelina, I have a feeling she doesn't have a problem with like being in front of the camera, but you meet Evelina and like how do you encourage her to be open, not to be afraid? Does she need a lot of this encouragement? Or me, for example? Or do you notice that it's different for every person and every person needs a bit of a different, push?
Okay, so for example, when it comes to you are used to it already. Like, it's not that difficult with you. But I think that I always say to everyone that, hello, just pretend that you're talking to me, not to the camera. Like you're talking to me, like
and
just
helps.
pretend that it's not there.
Okay.
I
like that. Okay. Yeah. That actually makes sense. Okay. How did you learn to do it so quickly? Is it intuitive for you, or is it just something that back when you were 12 years old? What actually made you do it? Like not every 12-year-old does things like this,
I don't know. I mean, as I mentioned before, I just love to try out many different things. And I always like had this feeling that, I like talking to the camera. I really liked, aesthetics and just photography, editing and, recording stuff and just looking for it. So I think it was really intuitive at some point.
It's just a part of you.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
So it comes naturally to you.
Yeah.
But honestly, now that I think about it, so many things come naturally to you. Being an office manager, like everybody's like, when Amelia is at the office, it's like, oh my gosh, everything's so well organized. Then she's a teacher, everybody loves her. Then she's a social media manager, everything works just fine. Okay, how easy or difficult is it for you to combine all these roles, being a teacher and being a student, because you are a day student, and at the same time, social media manager?
Sometimes it's hard. Of course. I have to be really well organized, really well organized, because sometimes it's really difficult to, to just have time for everything, to just find time to, prepare things in advance, etc. Sometimes it's impossible. Sometimes I have to stay late at night, but I love staying late at night. Yes, okay. I'm not a morning person at all. So sometimes I can just sit and edit things at 2 a.m. and I don't mind.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's not healthy, probably.
I mean, as long as it works for you, it's okay.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and I often, when I'm just sitting at the university and like the lecture is boring, I'm just
you can do some stuff.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So it's basically comes down to your natural predispositions, and you being organized helps a lot.
Yeah, I think so.
And also, what I want to mention is, like, there's many things said about different generations. I remember when I was in my 20s and everybody was talking about my generation being lazy and this and that, because, of course, all these people from the previous generations claimed that this and this is true or not. And now, of course, a lot is said about Gen Z, which is your generation. And when I sometimes hear it or when I read, I'm like, no, that's not true. Amelia is the complete opposite of what is said, Amelia, Ola, like all these people that work with us, I just don't see it. So where do you think it comes from that people create such, I don't know, is it a stereotype? What is it?
Honestly, I don't know. Maybe I'm also just, I'm around ambitious people who have goals and they're just working hard, and I don't agree with all of the things that people are saying about Gen Z. Of course, there are people who they are just like on their phone all the time. They think that they can just get something like that without hard work. But when you understand how the world works and how much hard work you have to really put into your life to just, achieve all of the things that you would like to achieve, then you just understand that it's just not like that, and it's not that easy. Yeah. And, because we also have like some kind of like this trend in social media that, we all want to be millionaires by 25 years old, something like that.
There's a trend like this.
Yes. Like people are like, yeah, like I can do so many things. I can achieve so many things. Like I can be a millionaire just like that. Yeah, like I think people just don't understand how much work you just have to sometimes, and how much effort you have to put into things. I mean, of course, there are people that they are just lucky.
Exactly, yeah, of course. But, let's face it, that's a huge minority.
Yeah, but I think that people have some kind of like weird approach nowadays when it comes to money and to work and everything, that they think that they just, can get everything that they want.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. So this is your observation as well. That's quite interesting.
Yeah. So, but more in social media, not in real life. Because in real life, as I mentioned, I think that I'm just attached and I'm just like around the people who are just ambitious and, they're not like that. But when it comes to people that I see on social media and also people that I hear about, sometimes it is visible. Yeah.
Extremely interesting. Absolutely extremely interesting. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now in order to create social media content, you need to be creative. That's like a must-have, and that is something I guess we're born with. We always have ideas. Creativity is used for many different things in life, and you probably have to use it in teaching as well as in social media. Do you use it differently? Do you think that they coincide at some point, the creativity used for classes? Because you mentioned that sometimes you're in class and you're like, oh, yeah, something for social media, or vice versa. So do you think they coincide a lot, or do you think that sometimes you feel like, oh my gosh, it's a completely different type of creativity that I have to use?
No, I think it connects. I think it connects a lot, because sometimes when you see something somewhere, I don't know. I mean, when it comes to ideas and being creative, sometimes I'm just, I'm taking a shower or I'm just walking down the street. I'm like, oh, I would love to make a video about it. Or I heard a phrase in a song.
Wow.
Literally. But you just need to, see things.
Okay.
And also, I'm inspired by many different things, by my students, by things that I see on social media, by other teachers, by some teaching materials that I see preparing for classes. Even when I'm talking with somebody, sometimes just something comes to my mind and I'm like, yeah, I would love to do something with it.
Excellent.
Or I see like a trend on TikTok or like video of like, I don't know, other people, and I would like to change it and adapt it to our like, you know, way of presenting things on social media. You know, creativity and like, you know, the inspiration comes from like many different channels, I would say.
Which you utilize all the time. Okay, how can social media content help students learn? You observe a lot of people, and I suppose you also see teachers putting content on social media. How can it help? And do you think that you could be inspired to learn more by watching stuff like this? As a student, because you mentioned Spanish.
Yeah, I mean, when you get a very practical thing that you can implement right away to your your learning journey or your learning routine, then let's go for it. Like I would love to do it. I would love to try it out.
Okay, so basically watching something, right? Implementing it, but only if it's like practical tips. And what if somebody talks about, like you did this thing with Evelina, the myths? Like things that people say, but they are not true. Is that something that could inspire people?
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, when you see stuff like that and when it's said by teachers and some kind of like, you know, authority, I think it could inspire and could maybe just change your mind and your approach, maybe motivate you.
So basically, as much stuff as you can, and basically also, I think the more convincing you are on a camera, the more convinced that the audience is going to be, right? I suppose.
Exactly.
So, like, if you go through your social media, I suppose you have your favorite creators, right?
Yeah, of course. Everybody does.
And what do you think draws them to you?
Their personality.
Okay.
Yeah, their personality and their way of presenting, ways of showing things, their way, like the aesthetics also. Because I just...
When you say aesthetics, what is that? Like the way they look?
Yeah, and the way they edit things, the look of the subtitles they add, the way of everything around it. Because like, you know, even like the way they speak, like the way of like the whole environment and the vibe just around the person, right? So personality and the vibe.
Okay. That's exactly it. Okay. Do you believe that all language schools should do social media?
I was wondering on this question a lot because at some point I think yes, but at some point I think no. What do you think about it?
I actually think that no.
No.
I believe no, even though I should say yes, because if somebody has a very specific way of working, specific way of thinking, and they don't have a person to show it because they just don't feel comfortable doing that, then it's going to be awfully difficult to convince people. Because as you said, if you watch somebody and they have the right vibe, energy, and everything else, then it works. But if somebody is just there and they look a bit like a dead doll, you're not going to get caught and engaged. You're not going to feel like you want to watch them again. So even if they have something very interesting to say, this is my observation as well. I sometimes see very good content. It's just not presented the way that would be attractive for me. So this is why not. But if somebody's convinced and they are comfortable, because it took me a while to get comfortable in front, I'm still not very comfortable. But let's say that I am more or less okay, especially when you're around, then I can do it. But I think that, it comes down to a lot of aspects, also technical, because if somebody, let's say they have something to say and they want to do it, but they don't know how to do it technically speaking, which is a big barrier for many people, for example, my age, then I guess that it might be difficult. But if they had someone, because, you know, my question was also about, you do our social media because you're a part of AKN. Now, do you believe that if we hired an external agency, they would do it the same way?
No, definitely no. I remember that we actually had a chat about it. Because, you know, the advantage of my work as an office manager is also that I know AKN like inside out. Absolutely. I just know how things works, and I just know a lot about the school. And I think that I really do, relate to the values that what we want to share with the students. So I think that is very important. You have to really understand the company that you're working with inside out, and it's not that easy.
It's not,
especially when it comes to language school like that, because it's very different.
It is.
It's very different. We have events. We have many different things that are just the language schools don't do that.
Exactly. The Google Docs, right? The initial meetings, almost only individual lessons.
Yeah, and individual classes when we try to match the students with the teacher, by their personality. And in social media, we also want to show the personality and the teachers.
Exactly.
And and this is like the value that we all share, and we want to show it to the world, right?
Absolutely. It's the best conclusion you could give me. Absolutely. So this is the right approach. This is the direction we should follow. So thank you, Amelia, for being there. Thank you for being so eager to do this, actually, And I hope to see you here again.
Yeah. See you.
Thank you.